Hi, Meg here from I Teach Stamping, and today I'm going to be making a scallop circle card. So I'm going to start with a piece of old olive that's going to be 4 5/8 by 4 5/8, and I folded it over. And actually this is 11, I just haven't cut the edge off. So as long as you've got it 4 5/8 with a good fold on it, you'll be set. So I'm going to be using the big Scallop Circle Die, and I'm going to line up the fold of my cardstock right below the 4 scallops at the top. I'm going to put this on my Big Shot on a cutting plate, put another cutting plate on top, and zip it on through. So that's going to give me the great base for my card. Now I'm going to do one other step. I have another piece of old olive that's going to be 4 5/8 by 4 5/8 again, and I'm just going to take it and run it back through my Big Shot. So I'll have a full scallop for this. Some people do it where this is their actual card, and I prefer to have the scallops go all the way around. So all I'm going to do is take this and layer it on top, because it's going to line up perfectly for me, and just adhere it down. So you'll just have that fold across the back side. Alright, the next thing that we're going to do is with the beautiful butterflies die and a piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. I'm going to do this butterfly right here. Cutting plate on top. Zip it on through. And I have my fantastic butterfly. But of course I can't leave this butterfly alone. So let me bring in my multi-purpose platform, put a plate there. I'm using the Elegant Lines embossing folder because I thought it would be just beautiful on this butterfly. So really move it around so that you have the texture on the butterfly that you really want. I'm going to move mine right down here. I want lots of texture. Let's see here. There we go. Then a clear cutting plate on top. And run it back through. So you should have some beautiful texture on your butterfly. And of course you can use whatever embossing folder you would like. Alright, so we're done Big Shotting. So now let's go ahead and do all of our punching. I've got the 2.5-inch circle punch with a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And I've got the scallop border punch with a piece of Blushing Bride that's going to be 1 inch by 4 inches. This is where you want to start. Just going to punch this. And this punch I still use upside down. It makes it a whole lot easier for me to line it up. So to cut out this circle, I used the Letters to Santa Designer Series paper. I really don't think with the pinks and greens that it's really a Christmassy looking paper, so it was perfect. And I used my circle scissors plus ahead of time, and I cut this to a 3 5/8 inch diameter. So then our Whisper White that we punched out is going to center on top of that circle. And then we're going to add our cute little border. So it's going to cut off part of the white but leave part of the pink. Now if you've got a pattern in your paper like I do with my pink and green, there are lines, so I want to make sure I've got it straight up and down. So just stick that down, and I know that that looks absolutely terrible. So what we're going to do is totally cheat and flip it over. I could run it back through the circle scissors, but honestly that would be more trouble than it's worth when you can just grab your snips and use your circle as your template. So just cut around here like so. Now we have one of my favorite ribbons. This is the Dotted Scallop ribbon, and it's the Old Olive. At this point in time, really make sure if you want polka dots to go with it. As much as I love the polka dots, I'm not going to for this one. I'm just a plaid and polka dot, not mixed kind of person. So I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors and measure off what I need. And then a mini glue dot on each end. And I'll peel this up and attach my cute little ribbon. let's use dimensionals to put this on the front of our circle, because we've got that ribbon back there. Oh, let's do one more. Let's get one right in the center. Get all these peeled off. And now it's very important to make sure you know where the top of your card is. So I'm just going to put this onto the front. So I'd already gone ahead and layered that top Old Olive to the one that had that score in it. Okay, so now we've got that. Now we're ready to work on our butterfly. Move all that. So I've got an antique brad and my pliers, and all I'm going to do is pull off the prongs on this brad, because I really didn't want them for this project. So I've got those off, and I'm just going to pick up a mini glue dot and put it into the center of my butterfly. Now before I attach my butterfly, I'm going to grab my craft white ink, and I'm going to hit some of the edges and some of that texture, that raised embossed area, with that ink. It's just going to make it just that texture stand out a little bit more. Alright, so I'm sure you've guessed what I'm going to use. Grab some dimensionals, and I'm not going to put it on the card yet. I'm going to let that ink finish drying, and we're going to work on our cute little tag. So now we're going to make the cute little tag for our card. I've got the thanks from the Fabulous Phrases, and I'm inking it up in Old Olive, and I'm going to stamp it onto some Whisper White. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because we're going to be punching it out. And we're going to start with the smaller tag punch, and I want the thanks not quite in the middle, but not all the way to the bottom. So about 3/8 of an inch up from the bottom. So there's my cute little thanks. And then I'm going to use the larger tag, and I'm going to use the Blushing Bride cardstock. So I love punches that build on each other. It just makes layering so much easier. Then from the itty bitty bits, I'm going to use the cute little flower, and I'm going to add a couple of Blushing Bride flowers to my thanks. There we go. And scoot those off. Add some snail. Instant tag. Alright, so now we're ready to build everything onto our card. So I'm going to go ahead and take the dimensionals off my butterfly, add some dimensionals to my tag, and then just mess with the spacing. So I know my tag is going to hang off of my ribbon. So I'm going to, if I do my butterfly this way, and my tag to sneak underneath it just like so. Of course we're not done. We gotta add some more ribbon. So I tied a teeny tiny bow out of the Old Olive 1/8 inch taffeta ribbon, and I'm gonna use a mini glue dot to pick that up. And I'm going to attach it onto the mini clothespins from Stampin' Up. I have tried clothespins from all different companies in the past and from different craft stores. I love ours the best because first off, they really work and they don't go flying off your project. So now I've got this. I'm going to go through, pick up that ribbon, and pick up that tag. And then I've got my cute little Scallop Circle thank you card.